giving this analogy, maybe, I can't remember who, but Srila Guru Maharaj also gives the analogy of a football pitch. A football meaning not American football, but, the other football. And we used to, the East London Temple used to be across from a very major football stadium, almost across the street. And we could hear, during the game, we could hear, well, kind of by the sound of the crowd, we could kind of guess what was going on. But especially if the ball almost went in to the goal and didn't. And what would we hear? Oh, so much disappointment. And when the ball is in the general field, it's like, not so much. But when it comes close and then it's deflected, it's something that grew. I said, a certain section is very much disappointed. So the sages, the great Vaishnavas, the rishis, those who are the Vaishnava acharyas in the universe, those who have understanding of this human form of life, so valuable. And someone comes to human form of life and doesn't take advantage of it. Oh, their heart is feeling very sad about this. And then generally in human life, we have four, according to the Veda, the Vede Sudurlabham, where to come to full, to understand him through the Veda. But the Vedas give four goals of human life, which are not transcendental. And does anybody know what those are? The Dharma. Yeah, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Those are the four things. So Dharma means religiosity for the sake of itself, or for the sake of going, just to keep oneself in a kind of more or less human consciousness, not to go down, and to go up to the heavenly planets, or to gain some kind of mystic perfection, or something similar to that. Then there's artha, which means to accumulate wealth. And then kama means to have some romantic relationship in this world. And then finally, when all that is just kicking you, where, and then you're just like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. And that's called moksha. But then, of course, Mahaprabhu gives the fifth kind of life. And it is also given in the Srimad Bhagavatam that there is devotion. And that is beyond liberation. There is the positive life of the soul. So I'm just kind of rattling on here. But if anybody would like to ask about anything in particular, it would be great if you might like to. Yes, maybe one.
It was very sweet because we were asked if we had any questions for you, and then Nadia said, well, if I have a question for Nadia, just go to her room and ask.
What did she say? I didn't hear you.
If I have a question for Nadia, just go to her room and ask. And actually, that's what's so beautiful. I mean, she has a privileged position, but actually that's what's so beautiful about these festivals, is that we get to ask questions personally and directly, and check in with those that we feel are so wonderful to ask questions to. And
yeah, I feel like that very much too.
And so I asked you this question yesterday, I think, because it came up and you gave such a beautiful answer, but again it came up in something Maharaj said last night. And it's that when we're in the Dham, when we go to all these holy places and we stand before the lordships, how do we present ourselves? What do we say? What do we think? How do we praise? And of course, this changes according to time, place, and circumstance and where we're at. but any thoughts from you would be so valuable in terms of our disposition and how do we figure.
Yeah. I think Jagannath Puri, because we can't go inside the temple. It's such a, I find that quite sweet in a way. Because we're coming before the Lord in a much more subtle way. That I cannot see you, but what are we going to see with these eyeballs? You know? But you can see me, and I'm standing here. And I know that I'm yours. And you know that I'm yours. But I need so much help. And we are always getting help from the Lord in the way of uh, I brought something really beautiful. I was transcribing yesterday. But Guru Maharaj is, oh, thank you, Dee. Well, the Guru Maharaj is really talking about this, how we're being, how we're being dealt with by the Lord all the time. And especially, we have some remembrance of these things when we come in front of the deity. I mean, I can't say that I'm always thinking that, but at all. But, sometimes you come into the temple and you're thinking, okay, I've got to get these windows washed today, or something, or whatever. But I feel like the deepest kind of prayer comes when the environment is asking something from us in the move in surrender, and it's really challenging. Because I don't know why it's so hard, but there are certain things that we are so attached to. I mean, I don't know about we, but I can talk that we're so attached to that we're willing to go on suffering rather than surrender to the Lord and just say, this thing has come in front of me by your desire. Do we believe that? When we hear that not a blade of grass moves without infinite significance, Guru said, whether a blade of grass moves this way or this way is of infinite significance. What to speak of anything like coming in our front, you think, well, I gotta figure this all out, I don't know, or whatever you feel. But then we remember, oh, this is come by your grace, my Lord. I bow down to that. What shall I do? Kinkar means really, what do I do, right? What do I do? What do you want? How are you adjusting me? But that can be difficult because we don't see what needs to be adjusted. We're not the doctor. We don't see our own problem. We don't see how we're to be adjusted. We don't see how to make progress, really. We can't see it because we're not there. But he knows. So when we went to see Srila Guru Maharaj in 1985, and Guru Maharaj was talking about that, he said we must trust the doctor. We have to trust him and let him adjust me. And this can become a habit, and Guru Maharaj said this is what sadhana is. So for me, I mean, coming in front of the deity, especially, here, and we don't get to go to these temples very often, and, you come in front and then for me, I'm just talking about my own subjective. Then I'm asking for help. And why? Gurudev gave this beautiful talk. And he said, we must have a strong, he says basement, like a platform for the rocket to go. It has to be strong. And he said, but why do we want this to happen? For him. It's for him. Why do I want to help? I want to be for him. And now I think I'm for this thing that I call me, that I don't even know what it is exactly. You know, the changing of the, you know, it's gonna, all these misconceptions of who I am. I think, oh, I gotta gather everything up to protect that thing and make that thing work and all this. I mean, this is just like what we do, right? But now we want to change that to be in reality. And reality is for him. Reality is beautiful. We are experiencing pain from resistance to reality. And the flow of reality that is coming to me. I'm not so sure about that. But we have to hear about this practically every day because it is really a hard practice. And I know that there are certain things, Guru Maharaj says this too, there are certain things that come, you know, in my life and in people's lives that they just, the same thing keeps coming. You're like, why is this always on? But there's a reason. I said, oh, okay. I'll leave you for now, but I'm coming back. You need to let this misery go. And how are we going to do that? Only through surrender. We can't do it. We don't know how to let it. We don't even know what it is. But he can identify that for us, and he can release us from it. Aham tam sarva papeyo moksha masucha. I'll do it. I'll do all of it. Just let me. Do you want me to? I will do it. Mamekam shamanam. Just surrender to me. I'm going to take away all this pop, all this sinfulness, all this illusion, dishonesty, all this nonsense that we do all day long. And the minute he takes away something, we think, how did I live with that so long? How did I, and I would have gone on for forever. So, Guru Maharaj is really emphasizing this point, that we must practice surrender, and it's difficult. So I heard this one girl, she was asking Guru Maharaj, what happens when material attraction is stronger than our desire for Krishna? And what do we do? And he said, call out for your guardian. He's always ready to help you. He will always help you. So that's just my own feeling about coming in front of the deity. And when things are tough, when I'm dealing with something I really am having a hard time letting go of, even though it's just like setting my head on fire, but the ego is like, oh, then I ask for help, and especially, you know, I'm really asking for help. But I want to be his. I don't want help to get out of the material world to Brahma Nirvana, Nirvishesh Brahma. We want to be for him. I don't know if that's helpful, but that's kind of really what I feel. And then when you get a little respite, you know, things are going pretty good. I got this thing going, I go to the temple every day, and I do this thing, and everything's going well, and then boom, from the side, boom, you know, and you're like, oh. And then the prayers become real. The kirtans that we've sung maybe 1,000 times. And you know, you might be thinking about something else. You're trying not to, but your mind is wandering to something else. But not when those things are happening. They become real. And the happiness of noticing how the Lord is reciprocating with our little attempt, that is substantial. Otherwise, I fear. that we will become uninterested in Krishna consciousness. Because it's just that stuff we do every day. It's not really doing it. Or it's, or we have our religious nature. We want to keep doing that. But we need to actually, it hit me one day. I don't remember where I was. We've lived in so many places. But I was just, thinking about all these things, and then it just hit me really hard. Like, wait a second, you mean I'm really actually going to leave this world? Like, this is for real? I don't know. Give me a minute. I was like, but it is real, and we really do have to have good friends, good association, and keep hearing about this, keep trying to practice Sharanagati, and enlighten each other with it. And there's so many things that we do when we're cleaning, we're cooking, we're going out. But I remember one. I'm just rattling on here. Does anybody want to say anything else? But one devotee I know, who he is, and he was talking to Srila Guru Maharaj, I should say. Guru Maharaj saying, what are you doing? Oh, and I'm having all these pandals, and I'm doing all these things, and thousands of people are coming in in Africa somewhere. Many, many, many people. And Guru Maharaj gave a very surprising answer to him. He's saying, but what is your Krishna consciousness? What are you practicing? And what are you distributing? He said, if you don't practice Sharanagati, then you will, what is that called? You will miss this point, and you will give the same adulterated thing to others. But I'm telling you, people are coming in, new people are coming in all the time. And, at the temple, it's what we talk about. And it's not like people are like, oh my God, that's like kind of really, I don't want to do that. People really appreciate it. It's natural to surrender to God and know that your friend is behind all the things that are scaring you, and that they're really not scary. That everything is coming for a certain reason. And the really astonishing thing is that he has a completely different relationship with you and with me than anyone else. He doesn't have the same relationship with two people. It's so personal and so subjective. And it's just charming beyond belief. Well, how he can adjust us. And even in my fledgling, if I can even say I'm a fledgling, in the very beginning stages of devotional practice. But still, from the beginning, we must learn and teach that this process is to allow the Lord to adjust me and make me His. And then finally, we have to see the devotional potency there. As Bhakti Thakur says, the center of all existence is Radha Vinod, meaning that person who wants to please Radha. So, all these things are going to come in their own time, but we want to at least get our practice right, or die trying. But at least we don't want to try the wrong thing. So, there's so much to the subject, but I thought I would read this. I didn't finish transcribing it, but it's a very beautiful. Unless somebody has anything else, well, thank you so much. Unless somebody has anything else you'd like to speak about. And by the way, I really appreciate Keisha and his answers to all those questions. Always coming to the center.
Yeah.
See, there's a tendency in all of us to make everything a form that I can have some kind of control over. a controllable form. You know what I mean? So when we hear about the infinite absolute, we're like, okay, well, it looks like this. And then if you do this every morning, then everything's going to be fine. And all those things are helpful to our emotional life. You are never going to control this. We need to be controlled by Him, controlled by Him, controlled by love. We're not going to get Him in a box. The infinite, we can't even understand that word. I'm surprised it's even in the English language. Infinite, it's beyond any conception of the human, what is it, the materialistic demeanor cannot possibly stretch to the transcendental autocrat, or whatever calling it. So we can't do that. But
Mike.
Yeah.
oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. But we can surrender to Him, and then what He is, His relationship with me, I can. But we're not going to control Him. Guru Maharaj said He is reckless. There's no rules for Krishna. And in the end of the Brihad Bhagavatam, when Krishna is speaking to the queens of Dwarka, and he gave them a little insight into Vrindavan, they're all kind of hiding behind the trees and watching Krishna going through the motions of walking through Vrindavan. This sort of Vrindavan that was made by Vishwakarma. And he was saying, he's saying, I am come as your religious husband, and I'm affectionate to you. I'm really paraphrasing here, but the main point was, he's saying, I rescued you, this is my duty, I'm your husband, I'm all this. He said, but in Vrindavan, you couldn't really understand how free I am there. I'm just free. I just wander around doing whatever I want, whenever I want. I don't follow. Guru Maharaj said, in Vrindavan, he's not the constitutional king, the supreme personality of God. That's Narayan. And to some degree, in Dwarka also. He's just free. He just does what he wants, whenever he wants, and everybody's going mad with love for him. But what kind of understanding of surrender is necessary for us to begin to think of how to enter into that plane? If we wanted basically to sit in the temple and behave himself, and we do all of our stuff, the good stuff that people we should do, and then everything's stable, being with Krishna is not a stable position in terms of, floods, fires, and deep, like everything's intense all the time. And it's just like and that's all in the holy name. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Go Lokera Mahotsava. He's talking about the holy name. You are the festival of Goloka. So there's always a festival going on of Krishna's will, executed by Balaram and Yogamaya. And so we have to start practicing Krishna consciousness in the mind of Mahaprabhu by seeing Krishna's will and bowing down to it. That's our practicing life. We're practicing becoming a part of reality instead of living in opposition to reality. If we want to see the plane of consciousness that's all around me, I have to become a serving part of that. And that is, first have to see the flow of divine will. Because people, we've gotten an idea that the material world is like this place where Krishna's will isn't. This is Maya. This is Maya. Yeah, that's Maya, that's Maya. That's not true. Maya is in my own eye. So if we want to begin to open up our hearts and consciousness to the plane of consciousness. And what is the plane of consciousness? It's the serving potency moving according to the will of Krishna. And that's all that is. It is conscious and it knows it's conscious. And it knows who it's for. And we must enter into that. And the only way to do why would we want another way is through surrender to this normal world, the normal conscious plane of devotion and reality and truth. Everyone is surrendering to his will. And what do? And they're dancing all the time. Every movement is a dance, every word is a song. Dancing means joyfulness. So, and I know I said this before, and it's very, what do you call that word in English? Somebody's being a little naughty. Cheeky. Cheeky is a cheeky expression. But we mustn't practice Krishna consciousness without Krishna. And who is Krishna? The cause of all. He's not just hating himself. He's the cause of causes. And we begin to open up ourselves to know that and to start to feel that. But that's intense. Everything else that we thought was dear and wonderful is going to go. One thing after another. Guru Maharaj said it will all come to the light of day and be dismissed. So are we ready to die to live? We have to help each other. And one time, Srila Guru Maharaj, there were some devotees who were talking to him about this. Guru Maharaj was trying really, really hard to help the devotees in ISKCON. After the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, everything just really changed quickly. Quite quickly, and we were all a little bit like, ooh, what's going on? And the devotees went to Guru Maharaj. They didn't pull his name out of the hat. That was given by Prabhupada. We didn't know. So you go there and tell him. And he said, yes, you can make this adjustment here, and then you talk to this and try to do. He said, but this is all. If you really want my real answer, try to see the will of the Lord and try to be moved by Him. And one thing I want to say about this, because it is very tempting to think that surrender means this circumstance is just going to be harassing me for the rest of my life. I'm just going to surrender to it. It's the opposite of that. It's come to heal me. It's come to fix what I broke. It's all my own fault that I need this rectification. It's my own responsibility. But once that adjustment is coming by the Lord Himself, then we can't conceive of where that's going to take us. We really don't know. It's the opposite of being stuck in it. Okay, I guess I'll surrender to Krishna and stay in this job for the rest of my life. This is what we think of. Surrender is not a really great word. It's the only English word we can come up with. But it's not really that. It is, yes, my Lord, you could say again, the doctor or the dentist or someone, what you want from me will put me in a state of health that I have never felt before in my existence. Ever since I became aware of myself as an individual, I've been in the illusory environment, because that was my choice. So what is it not to be in the illusory environment? I have no idea. I don't know where the Lord's taking me through this circumstance. But it is the opposite of being stuck in something. That idea of surrender has to leave us. It's not the truth about surrender. Okay, I guess I'll surrender. It's not like that. It's like, my Lord, you have put this circumstance in front of me. It is good for me. All of these things are for you and I am for you. And just keep, and then see the surprising adjustment that can come. It's surprising. Thinking, well, if I surrender, then I'm going to think this way. No idea. We have no idea how he's adjusting us. It will be a surprise. I mean, my experience, my 3 minutes of trying to practice, it's been very surprising. So, all of these, so again, he was talking to these, devotees and he's saying, you bow down and you see where the Lord is putting you, how the Lord is adjusting you. And there are many, many beautiful talks about this. There are so many. I think we really need to make a book. And so, I'm trying to make some notes, others also, of things on this subject that will make it more and more clear to us. We hear surrender. What do you do? How do you do it? Guru is laying it out. He really explains it very much. So, any questions or comments at all?
I would have a question. And I felt very, very touching how you described how it is inconceivably that me, fallen soul, have been moved in front of him. It's also related to Padita Devi questioning or mentioning. But you also mentioned it or described the four form of lives. Does it mean that that there is a chance for me to be surrounded sooner than that I even capable to perceive to surround him? So I mean, to be beyond this karma, moksha.
Not only is it possible, it's
Can you repeat the question so they can hear first?
okay. Actually, you can repeat it if you like, because they would say it very well, and I might get it wrong. You're saying, is there any hope that this is actually going to happen?
Yeah. My question was, is it any hope or any chance for me that me as fallen soul, which unconceivable for me to be moved, to be brought in front of him, that I get surrounded to him sooner than all these kind sorts of life, moksha, or first, yeah, I cannot remember them, but all the four forms, money, enjoyment, liberation. Yeah.
That's a great question. I mean, we're all wondering that, right? Could possibly happen. But actually, Guru Maharaj says, if sincerely, it's very, and he said, And the process of surrender is the you can spend thousands of years practicing bhakti yoga um, and not come to the plane where you will come quickly to the process of surrender. And it is difficult to conceive of it, but it is a fact. And we can't, all these things will happen gradually, but the Lord is, as Bhakti Thakur says, you are the wisest person. Think of a way to save this fool. So these prayers mean a lot to us. It's desperate. And there are moments when there is really desperation. Like, the last time I saw Srila Prabhupada was in New York City in 1976. And I told the story before, so I'm hoping we were all sitting and he was talking with Rath Day from New York City. And he was talking about lolium. Lolium means intense hankering. It has its negative side and its positive side. And the positive side, he's saying, I can leave my country with a passport that comes from my country. But I cannot enter your country without a visa. And that has to come from your country. So he's saying we can leave the material world. That's moksha. Just get out. Came from the tatasta, the obsessa, But to enter into the divine plane requires a visa, and that lolium. Lolium means it's desperate. And there are times when we really don't want to take that next step that's come in front of me. And I can't do it, or I can't find it, or I don't understand, or I'm confused, or whatever, and just cry out. So Srila Prabhupada said, just like a child, I don't know how, you were in Navadvip. I don't know if any of you really went to the open market in the morning, but it's busy, right? That's where usually all the men go and they buy all the groceries for the day, and it's just crowded, and there's men and women and there's kids. So the mother is taking the child into the marketplace, and there's just hundreds of people around him. And suddenly he can't find her. And he doesn't care if he's hungry, he doesn't care if he's tired, he doesn't care if he wants a toy. He doesn't want anything but his mother. And he cries out with everything that he is for his mom. And nothing else no other thing will satisfy her. So there are times when that lolium may come, and we really need it. And it will increase more. That not, like Gurudev said, don't keep a feeble fire. A feeble fire, what happens to it? Little wind comes and it's gone, right? Lolium is a need. I need your mercy. I need your help. And we can do that different. Care. I'm good. And then you notice that you go, oh, Lord, look at me. I'm practically dead. Help me. Wake me up. Shake me up. Do what you need to do. Punish me. Do. Come and help me. Help me. So we know there's a prayer by Queen Kunti. And it's really lovely prayer. And she's the mother of the 5 Pandavas. And they went through so much difficulty that you're just like, oh, I wish people didn't even know about us. Nobody's going to want to be a devotee. But Queen Kunti is saying, I mean, I'm just got the very short, but she's saying, you know, there, there was the poison cake, there was the fire, the terrible fire, the vicious Kulu court, there's so many things that happened to them. They're exiled and they were treated so roughly. Then finally the Battle of Kurukshetra came. Yudhishthira was established as the emperor over all the other kings. And then Krishna's going away. And Kunti said, bring those sufferings back. Because we always felt your presence all the time. And now we're so comfortable. Everything's good. There's no enemy. They've all been killed. And you're going away to Dwarka. I want those sufferings to come again. So those things which come when we invite Lolium in our practice, they're very valuable to us. Don't be afraid of them. So we actually have nothing to fear because of Hoistiki Apatita. Devotion has no cause, and therefore there's nothing that can disturb it. So in all circumstances, we can call out for the Lord. And sometimes, speaking of coming in front of the deity, I can tell another little story. That one time, I mean, I probably told this before, I don't know, but it was a big moment for me in my life. It was about 1973, maybe. I was like 22 or something. And I was in the temple. And I'm sure I've told this before, but it was a big moment for me. And we're in the temple room in Chicago, beautiful deity, da, 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 like the art is going on, and 60 devotees chanting in the temple room, jumping. And I was like, oh, is this ever going to be over? And this is around. Then just offering the lamb. Arti is going on forever, and that's what I was feeling. And I was in front of the arti, and then I came up in front of the deities, very beautiful deities in Chicago. And I felt a little desperate. And I said, you see how I am. But if I had ever done anything that you have liked, anything that has pleased you, I'm asking for something. Don't let me leave the devotees. Like never. That's what I'm asking for. I'm asking you, come hell or high water, whatever you have to do, don't let me leave the devotees. And these moments are important for us in our progress. There's moments where we know we have to call out for help. And help comes. This is truth. There's no non-Krishna. There is nothing outside of Krishna. That will be a figment of our imagination. So, we have to see his movements and try to come into the current of the flow of his will, which is in the environment, the flow of the serving energy. It's all around us. So get desperate and stay desperate. Stay desperate if possible. It's not easy because we like to just kind of I mean, of course, that's, but we can understand that that's very important for our spiritual progress. And the process of surrendering to the environment as the divine environment is bringing my lesson, and by the grace of the Lord, Guru Maharaj said, you will see the smiling face behind the veil. You'll see him. Through surrender, you will see me smiling. He said, come on, get rid of that. There's another story Prabhupada told. The man comes into a village and he's carrying this big bag of rocks. And he's just, oh. He's going to the village, old man, and a boy comes to him and says, Uncle, why are you carrying all those rocks? Why don't you put them down? He says, it's all I've got. All I've got. So somebody attached with the altar. So we're like, no, that's who I am, you know? I gotta be me. And then you find out, oh, it's not me at all. Okay, so I'll read that. Any other question, comment, or help?
Yeah, there were more fingers.
Yeah, let's see.
What?
After.
After.
you're
And now you're going to just set up my iPad. No, it was black, but anyway, it's a really beautiful picture of so anyway, I'll try to find this talk. And then we just, I don't know, is this, maybe we're going over time? Are we going over time? Okay, so, I shouldn't have this ready, but I wasn't. Okay, here we are. So this is my notes. I'm illegible. But I really recommend that you make your notes. Coach Shinwai Davis did a good job of transcribing a lot of Guru Maharaj's talks, so those are available. But when you make your own notes, it's helpful. I mean, I find it really helpful to remember. Okay, this is, everyone can, but this one is not transcribed online, or it doesn't have the subtitles. So within in God overhead, YouTube video, you can just write it in there. And it begins, it's a continuation. So it begins with referring to something that he already said. Guru Maharaj Jai Srimati Raghunath. It is just required for my best interest, meaning what is happening. I am put into test. I am put into test, and that is meaningless. It is meaningful. Really meaningful. It is not meaningless. It is meaningful. Where we are living, it is not an inanimate environment. It's not. Too far. Exactly. Where we are living is not an inanimate environment. When we see something without consciousness, it's Maya. Everything is conscious. But we won't see it the same way. It's a little different, of course. It is animate and fully conscious. All of it. Not only conscious, but sympathetic. So the burden is on our shoulder that for my best benefit, I shall have to adjust me with the present circumstances, thinking it is divine arrangement. But again, remember, surrender means to the center, means to the Lord. It's not a material thing that, oh, okay, I'll adjust to the fact that I'm hanging off of the wall and I don't try to help. You have put this in front of me. What shall I do? What is being drawn from me? So the burden is on our shoulder that for my best benefit, I shall have to adjust me with the present circumstances, thinking it is divine arrangement. So we must have sufficient and goodwill for the environment. Goodwill means you are my friend, and I want to be a part of this serving energy. That is the highest. To the successful lives of the highest order, whatever comes is all for the best. And I must learn how to deal with such circumstances. We should learn to consider the environment as a whole. What is the synergistic purpose of reality? As a whole, not as a little part all separated out as things happening all around. But it is a synergistic thing. It is a reality is all. And there must be the supremacy of the Supreme Lord with all his paraphernalia. All of this is his paraphernalia. With help, with help, the help will come for me. From the surface, what we see. It will come for me from the surface, which seems to be unsympathetic, apparently. Oh my God, we grumble. I mean, we're pretty much most of the time. But in the case of every devotee, when they are put to trial, their case was dealt with by them in such a way. Mystic. What does mystic mean? Guru uses this word quite a lot. It means it's good. Optimism is our goal. Whose goal? The practitioner. And we must try to draw within our own self the optimistic attitude to meet the optimistic outside. The outside is all good, all perfect, all progressive, all serving. We must draw within our own self the optimistic attitude to meet the optimistic. Then you can attain Maya. Maya means miscalculation. I'm not seeing it properly. I'm reading it wrong. Why? Because I have an idea that something exists to serve me. What atom would get so unfortunate that it's assigned to serve me? Everything is serving the Lord, but this thing is for me. So it doesn't exist. Not that I'm going to be the center of anything. That's not truth. And that's Maya. And that's why we don't see what is really there. Optimism for optimism. The environment must be good. Why? Because it is under the guidance of the Absolute. And I also must meet with the same attitude, the same optimism. From my part, no pessimism must be encouraged. Pessimism means bad. Tatena kampam sushmuksamano bhundane vapakitam vipakam vidvagvapurvir viditam namaste jivetio mukti pade sadayavak. Whatever undesirability we find within me, that is due to my previous maladjusted activity. That's making me mad. It's not that I have a tendency to anger, it's just that that's making me mad. We're always doing, I'm always including everyone, I don't want to be the only one. And this is what I've just said, what Guru Maharaj is saying, what I have just described is the policy by which we can finish the undesirability within us. So that's another kind of important, right? Non-encouragement of that which cannot help me in the adjustment with the circumstance, that element must not be encouraged. So talk about anukul and pratikul. Anukulena means what is optimistic, what is looking for the sweetness, adjusting me to the sweetness of the flow of reality. And what is pratikul? Anything that doesn't help me do that.
Can you say that last sentence again?
So, when we say Bhakti Anukul Mantra and Bhakti Praktikul, we're going to give up that. And these are the 6 limbs of surrender. They're not just 6 things that we do. They're 6 things to help us surrender. And Guru Maharaj is defining them as whatever is favorable for my optimistic attitude, for my acceptance, for my embracing what is trying to embrace me. That is Bhakti Anukul. And Bhakti Pratikul is non-encouragement, or that which cannot help me in the adjustment with the circumstance, that element must be okay, I'm going to just read it the way he said it. Non-encouragement of that which cannot help me in the adjustment with the circumstance, that element must not be encouraged. That element which cannot help me in the adjustment to the sweet flow of divine will, that is pratikul. That's what's got to go. Otherwise, we're going to be at odds. And one time, Srila Guru Maharaj was being asked this is as far as I've gotten in that sense. But so they were all, another group of devotees was asking him, well, you know, some people say that we should do this, we should wash our hands, sort of details about practice. And he said, well, this and that and that. But he said, but this is all in the platform of more external, anukul and practical. He said, the real thing is find the Lord's will within everything. Find the center in the center. Find the center. And what is the center doing? Nanganam pranayake kala. He's just dancing and pastime. Guru Maharaj said, when you get the vision of reality, you will see Vrindavan wherever you look. And some of the persons, you know, even our brothers of Guru Maharaj, they just could not adjust with that. And Guru Maharaj said, if I don't say it, then who will say it? He said everything, the 14 planetary systems, the elements, earth, water, fire, and the mind, intelligence, he said it's all within the mental plane. We are seeing reality through the mind, through the filter of the mind. And we're not seeing it properly. All of it. It's all in the mental plane. So we are trying to come out of that plane. And what is the mental plane for? I want this, and I don't want that. We just can't keep going on that. And we can't stop. It's just that the Lord can take every layer of that away from us. And He wants to. And for what? For Him. He is reality. Who else are we going to serve? He's the absolute reality. Is there something else that you will serve? Anyway. Any other questions or comments from anyone?
My question is, I don't know how to frame a question, but I would like to hear more about sincerity, because I feel that I'm not sincere, so I'm not able to surrender. I'm not able to do anything. So is sincerity something that I just need to pray to Gurudev to give me and that's it? Or is there anything else I could do? Like to help, because I know that help comes, but I need to do my part as well.
Yeah.
Will this part be just like praying?
Yeah, desperate. Yeah. I mean, that's how we feel. I don't know if I really want to do this, you know. I'd rather just kind of make a little temple with where I am right now and you do the stuff that I do and not make any more process. It takes courage after all that. You have to be courageous enough. And that requires surrender to surrender. This way? Sorry. So we have, I'm going to tell another story. Do you remember Ram Gopal? And he's a big guy from where, Yorkshire or somewhere. You know, we have this tall nose, and this kind of British accent. I can't remember now what it sounded like, but he's a big guy. One time in London, he invited us over to his house for some sharing. And then it was a story, and then he had to go to work. It was nighttime, and he had a nighttime job. But his little boy, his name was Vrindavan Chandra, didn't want him to go to work. And the little boy says, I'm not going to let you go to work. He says, oh no, you're not going to let me go. And I said, no. And he said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to hide your shoes. And he said, oh no, you're going to hide my shoes. And the boy's walking around with these shoes, which were almost as big as he was. He's walking around with these shoes. And then he went to his dad and he said, I don't know where to hide them. And he said, well, you can hide them under the chair. So without much dependence on the Lord. We're completely dependent. And when the time comes and you just don't want to, just boom, look at them. And Prabhuji, the number of times, full of those kinds of prayers. Just full of them. It's like, I don't want to. I don't even like religion. I don't even like behaving myself really that much. And no, I don't have any of that good stuff you're supposed to have. So, such as I am, and this, well, the first time I read this verse, it blew me away. Because I keep thinking, you have to be at least nice or qualified or something. I mean, we're trying, no doubt, but such as I am, I surrender to you. I don't have anything. I don't have any of that good thing that you're supposed to have. So I'm surrendering to you because I don't have anything else. I need only you. You're the only one who can save me. And you're the only one who can help me surrender. I don't even know how to do that. How sweet is the Lord? We can't believe. There's no other quality in him. That is the person we're all looking for. So, this week, again, we just get desperate. And if we can't get desperate, Prabhupada used to say, just pray. And if you can't pray, then just pray to pray. And if you can't pray to pray, then just pray to pray to pray. Hope springs eternal. We're going to find But Krishna won't tolerate extravagant pride in his devotees. So I mean, you guys are all really humble. So we're ready for that. And we're just ready. We have to be ready for the display of the Lord. And I think I mentioned it yesterday about Nityananda Prabhu. Guru's day was saying, you take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, you just have to tolerate the speed of your progress. But tolerate the speed of your progress means, oh, wait a minute. What happened? I don't know who I am. just bow down and my Lord, you are my Lord. Just protect me. Show me how to, and he will. He does. So I'm going to keep going on and don't leave the ship. If you feel whatever you're feeling, just stay in the boat. The boat's going to go on. Guru Maharaj said, you just stay and everything else will happen. It will happen automatically. You don't even have to like check. You just stay in the boat. Don't leave the boat. No matter what your mind is saying about that, is a darn liar. Not telling the truth. We'll just stay in the boat. And that boat can take different shapes. But we have to follow that line. Always follow the line of surrender. Always, always. And He will always take us to different circumstances that are going to be beautiful for us. For our progress. And you know, we had Srila Prabhupada left. Catastrophe. Then Guru Maharaj, catastrophe. Gurudev left. Catastrophe. But we have to keep finding that line. Just keep finding that line. And if you can't, pray, because He hasn't lost you. He doesn't lose track of us ever. Alrighty. Jai, anything else? Can you add something? Anybody add something? Bhakti, do you want to add something?
No, maybe one more question.
Yes, please. Prabhu.
Yeah, and what is can be some, we can say maybe when like you practicing so much, we are in a time frame, right? Everybody, I mean everyone, and do you have some feeling, some marks where you can realize or notice that was progress, or is big progress or less progress, or you something like that? How to realize where am I from the beginning, or I'm moving back, or I'm stay on a position, or I did this, I made the step, something like that.
Yeah. Well, really, Prabhu, it's a really good question, and it's very, very important question. Guru Maharaj said we don't need to even wonder about that.
Can you repeat that?
If we simply go on practicing our inner spiritual life, that we can, he said, everything will come down to us. It's all going to come down.
Sorry,
to us.
Didi.
We don't need to think.
I don't know if they heard the question at the back.
I'm sorry.
Do you hear the question?
Yeah, everybody heard that question. How do we measure, like, did I make some progress, did I slip back? Sometimes you definitely feel, oh man, I thought I was doing so good, now, whoa, I am not even at the starting gate. And that's a good day. It's very cozy spiritual life. You don't have to be important or feel like we're doing something. It's more of a, like Srila Guru Maharaj said, we have to find that, Trunadapi Suniche Natarori Vasishna Namani Namanidena. That's very cozy for the soul. And that's what we're seeking. And Guru Maharaj said, we cannot chant the holy name until we come to that zone. Because that's where the name lives. It's not, it's not a geographical or something we can put on a chart, but we do tend to try to do that. It's normal for us, but that will disappear. It's not the point so much. We can feel the reciprocation of the Lord in our, in our attempt to surrender sometimes. But how that's going to come and how that's going to be modified and how that thing that I think I feel very clearly that may all be changed. Synthesis, antithesis, thesis, where I am now and how I understand things. There will be an antithesis to that. There will be a force against that because I need to keep it going. And then we surrender to that. And then comes synthesis. Oh, a new thing. And how that's going to be is very different from how we think now. It's a different world. And then again, that position, that will be challenged. That's how it goes. And it's the environment that's challenging us. That where you think this is all cool, you know, you got it all here and it's all charted out. If I do this and this, no, I do that. Oh no, it's something else, it's this and that. But it's going to all be challenged until we come to a position where the holy name actually lives. That's an amazing journey. And everything else is just like useless. I mean, what else are you going to live for? But it will all change. It's not going to stay the way it is in our subjective mind. So you're all, ooh, but then something in our heart is going to get, and that will come to another, you know, another code. We're getting rid of all matter, all the things that I can see subjectively as sort of control and make it all happen. All that's going to go away. Surrender just lives on its own. So those things are going to gradually happen. It's very mysterious for us. So surrender is necessary. What am I going to do? Break down the door? It's possible. And so this ocean of material existence becomes reduced to the amount of water that is in the footprint of the cat through this process. I don't know if that was a satisfying answer. I heard Gumash talking about this just, I don't know, a couple of days ago. And he was really saying this really strongly, like, and he's saying, you don't have to pay so much attention about this very thing. And it's like, whoa, I had to play it back. Whoa. You know, it's so mysterious, but it's going to feel at home more and more. I'm guaranteed that. Anything else that anyone would kindly add? Oh, touch it.
I was very happy to listen to wonderful words.
This is all coming from you.
Yeah. And I was thinking about two things. One was like what Srila Gurudev Kumar says about reality, the search for Sri Krishna. Reality, the beautiful, that is Krishna consciousness. Is we are searching for Krishna. And in the other society, in ISKCON, we heard Krishna, that is Krishna consciousness. Sri Maharaj said, is the search for Krishna. We are searching for the Lord God Krishna, the Lord of love. So, who is everywhere? Shileka can explain that so beautiful. In the material world, in the spiritual world, in everything, everywhere is Krishna. By His will, everything what we engaging in our life, there is Krishna saying, here is something you have to learn. I am there, it is difficult, but don't go negative. The negative ultimately has to go. The whole mental system has to be disconnected eventually. And then you think, yeah, but you have to think, that will automatically come. But not the negativity that is ego-based in the material world, that has to go, because that gives us the suffering. So the other thing, in in the other society, they say Krishna consciousness is self-realization and love for God, divine love. So self-realization, all the questions that we have, it is learning what is the mind, what is the intelligence, what is the ego, what is the soul, what are the senses we are dealing with. So that we learn, we don't listen to the mind. In our, Srila Govinda Maharaj says, our karma, what we all have, our day-to-day life and who we are in this life, is pushing us. The karma is always pushing. And then Krishna consciousness, Krishna teaches us how do you deal with this. And what Shileka explained so nicely, don't resist. It is not the problem what is there, but it is how we're dealing with problems. So every moment when there is a negativity, we have the chance to change that, to transform that, to give that as an offering. Every minute, every moment in our life. In that way, because we want, Srila Sridhar says, embracing the connection 24 hours a day. We want to embrace that connection with the Lord, with the Guru, the Krishna consciousness, 24 hours a day. We can have that. So that is our Krishna conscious life. What is said, what we always hear, it is the highest fortune. Because at last we are confronted with ourselves, with our karma, with our negative mind, with our, and we also hear we have to put that through the fire of difficulties, and then the golden self can come out. So we have a golden self. We have a self what has to be purified. Purified through all these difficulties, then the Lord is always watching, the gurus are always watching that we, how are we doing? How are we dealing with this little? What we think little, but it is actually not little, because Krishna is there. And so then the life, the flow in our life becomes very beautiful, meaningful, because we coming from the material world, we have suffered a lot. Srila Prabhupada says, Swami Maharaj says, we have to be disgusted with that life. And I think it's not so difficult to see, but I speak for myself, how I was, what I did, what I say, the pain I caused others, and the pain we see. Just turn on the news. It's like, do we want to be like really going into that life? No, we have found another life already. And this is the highest life, the most fortunate life. We always hear it, but it is true. And I can tell you one thing of my life. I'm not very eloquent like Shileka, or I don't have many skills. Like I'm a very small person. But what I can say, what I had from the beginning of Krishna consciousness, I thought, wow. I was enthusiastic. I thought, wow, this is so beautiful. Go into the Bhagavad Gita. Where do you hear that? In no other book you hear I'm Krishna, I'm the Lord, you surrender to me. This you have to refine. These are the modes. And then this is just a little bit. And all the books of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, of Srila Govinda Maharaj, of Srila Swami Maharaj, is like mind-blowing. I mean, if we think, wow, this is like difficult, yeah, it's difficult, but it is necessary. We want to, it is natural to, I think, in Sri Guru and His Grace, Sri Sridhar Maharaj says, to err is human, to make mistakes. But to become perfect, to become better, that's also human, that's also in us. Because we are soul, we are particle of the Lord, we are particle of Krishna. So we want to do good, we want to make nice situation, we want to learn, we want to for Him. It's not about us anymore. And we hear die to live or do or die. That's not a physical death. That is a death of the ego. That's all. And the ego is the negativity in us. And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj says the self-giving nature is innate. So Krishna consciousness is completely innate. From external, we call internal. And internal, connected with our best friend, which is the Lord, which is Krishna, because He's everywhere. And He is Gauranga, and He's Nityananda, and He's Guru, and all the gurus, they represent the Lord. So that intimate relationship we can have inside ourselves, in our heart, in our soul, with our consciousness. And Srila Govinda Maharaj says, we need attentive attention. So going through life, every moment in our life, be attentive. What are you thinking? What are you speaking? What are you doing? That has to be in one line also. Sometimes people think something, then they speak something different, and then they do also something different. That is like deceitful. Kutinati. That is deceitfulness. So that I say that to myself. Attentive attention. What am I thinking? What am I doing? What am I speaking? These are all very good things. Before you speak, calm the system down. You think, is it nice what I say? When it's not nice, don't speak. Let it go. And all this training, that is Bhakti Yoga, is discipline. Pull it back. Like in the material world, I remember myself, it came up and it was already out of my mouth. And so many stupidity and so many, who wants to hear this? And now in our beautiful sadhana, beautiful practice, we try to control, we try to go inside. And also what is I think is a very important point, let everybody, you say that's so beautiful, has a specific relationship with the Lord. It's all different because the Lord is very playful and very, look how He made us also different. I find very funny how He made the animals. I mean, He is like so playful in so many ways. So to see everywhere good, it's all His play to show us, like, don't worry about the thing. If you go into Maya, if you go into the material world, you get a slap because that is very. They said it in ISKCON one time. They say maybe material life is difficult, but maybe spiritual life is a little bit difficult, but material life is impossible. If you go heavy into the material world, then Maya can kick you from one corner and the other corner and then back. And you think, what is going on? What Shileka says, that is a higher consciousness. Shileka is very conscious, very advanced, and she can see already everywhere. But I mean, like, for just to say, everything is good. If we need to go do something, have some attachment, go through some workings in the material world, we experience it. And the Lord is there, and then He will give us the result. He will teach us. That is the ground, and we fall sometimes, and that same ground will pick us up again. That we say, okay, now I will do my sadhana better. I will be more sincere, more sincere and more enthusiastic about what actually has come into my life. Krishna consciousness has come into my life, and higher it doesn't get. We got the most wonderful thing that has come into our life. So I see you all are very beautiful souls, and I'm very happy to be in your association. And also, like, the whole journey, it is all the time wonderful. All the time we learn something, and all the time we can say, oh, in comparison with material life is good. I keep on learning. I keep on. It also, I find Krishna consciousness gave me strength to endure material living in this material world. It gives me strength in a more conscious way, more subtle way, more say finer way, because maybe there are rich people in there in the material world who have fame and have a lot of money and have a lot of facility, but actually compared to us, they are poor people, because we practice to learn how to be more and more connected with the Lord. So we are actually the rich people in the world. So I will wish you all good luck and much love and encouragement, and yeah, I can only say, stay enthusiastic, keep reading, chanting, keep your sadhana strong, have association with the devotees, do service, then everything will be all right. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Will you chant it?
Can I? Okay. Hare Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Rama Srimad Sudan.
Gopal Govinda Rama Srimad Sudan.
Girirani Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Girirani Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Radha Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Radha Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Janupasvanatana Pataraguna.
Janupasvanatana Pataraguna.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasaraguna.
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasaraguna.
Jai Gosai Kori Charana Vanda.
Jai Gosai Kori Charana Vanda.
Jai Vigna Savista Pura.
Jai Vigna Savista Pura.
Echai Gosai Jagui Dharata.
Echai Gosai Jagui Dharata.
Savara Padarenu Mora Panchaga.
Savara Padarenu Mora Panchaga.
Sadhira Charana Sevi Bhakta Sadhika.
Sadhira Charana Sevi Bhakta Sadhika.
Janame More Abhila.
Janame More Abhila.
Echai Gosai Jave Bhaje Kolyaba.
Echai Gosai Jave Bhaje Kolyaba.
Hare Krishna Nitya Lila Glorila Prakash.
Hare Krishna Nitya Lila Glorila Prakash.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Guru Vaishnava Pade Bhajayama.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Bhajayama.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriya.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriya.
Sankirtan Kore Narottama Das.
Harinam Sankirtan Kore Narottama Das.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo.
Nitya Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitya Hari Bo.
Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo.
Nitya Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitya Hari Bo.
Jai Sapakashi, Sri Guru Gaurangas Gandhava Govind Sundar Ki Jai. Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Guru Bhaga Ki Jai. Ramacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mosque Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Dham Ki Jai. Jai Bangladesh Lord Jagannath Dev Ki Jai. Jai all the assembled devotees Ki Jai. All devotees Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Ranjan Mansura Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Kadiri Ki Jai. Jyoti Ki Jai. Ki Jai. Sankirtan Ki Jai. Go Brahmanande.